What if the food you've trusted for decades is hiding something the chain hopes you never find out? Many ex-employees at McDonald's had broken the silence, and what they revealed terrified every American who relies on fast food to get by. Behind the smiling mascots and dollar menus lies a system engineered just for speed and profit. Lab tests show some McDonald's meats contain less than 50% actual meat, sitting in heat trays for hours and pumped full of fillers, chemicals, and preservatives banned in other countries. What are we really feeding our families? Is your dollar menu lunch worth the medical bill 10 years from now? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And today, we will reveal 7 kinds of meat and dishes you should never order in McDonald's. From mystery meats to chemical tricks. They're warning us. Don't order these items unless you're ready to gamble with your health. Number 1. McRib. If your sandwich has the same return schedule as a horror movie sequel, maybe it's time to ask what's really inside. The McRib doesn't come back because it's beloved. It crawls out of the shadows when pork prices drop low enough for McDonald's to make a buck. And this isn't nostalgia they try to convince you. What they sell you is just a financial trick dressed up in barbecue sauce. And let's clear the biggest lie first. The McRib has no ribs. You're not getting bone-in meat, just ground pork scraps. Mostly shoulder and trimmings, molded into a rib shape using something the industry politely calls meat glue. That's right. It's the Frankenstein of fast food, which means pressed, bonded, and painted to look like the real thing in the lamest way possible. Like ordering a Cadillac and getting cardboard with headlights drawn on in Sharpie, if you know what I really mean. The sauce. That's not flavor, it's camouflage. Packed with high fructose corn syrup and enough preservatives to keep it fresh through a zombie apocalypse. The sauce masks the fact that the meat has all the natural taste of a soggy napkin, and those grill marks you see, they're painted on with caramel coloring. Literally no flame, no smoke, just food makeup. And clearly you cannot put eyeliner on a corpse and call it lively. Here's where things get darker. The McRib once included azodicarbonamide, a chemical used in yoga mats and shoe soles. Yes, at one point, you could eat the same stuff you were walking on. McDonald's removed it after public outrage, but not before customers had unknowingly chewed through years of chemical-laced sandwiches. So what else slipped under the radar? Now take the sodium. Independent tests found that the McRib has nearly 70% more salt than what's listed. That's not a small oversight. That's enough to spike your blood pressure into orbit. For people managing health conditions, this isn't just false advertising, but very dangerous. And here's the kicker. Employees have admitted these patties can sit in warming trays for hours. Some say they've been there so long. They deserve their own employee badge. Heat lamp aged meat soaked in sugar sauce. That's what's being passed off as a seasonal delicacy. So ask yourself, if this is the sandwich they celebrate, what are they hiding in the items no one's paying attention to? If the McRib is a masked monster made of glue and lies, what's lurking behind that breaded chicken? That value burger, that breakfast sausage? This isn't just one bad sandwich, but a preview of an industry willing to serve up illusion as reality and hope we never look too close. Number 2, chicken nuggets. Take a guess what's in McDonald's kitchen that is possibly older than your last oil change. A McDonald's Chicken McNugget. It may look like a harmless snack, but this crispy little bite has secrets buried deeper than a cold case file. If you thought you were biting into pure chicken, brace yourself. Only about 50 to 60% of each nugget is actual chicken meat. The rest? A puzzling collection of chemical cousins and lab-born oddities designed less for nutrition and more for immortality under a heat lamp. Let's talk about ingredients. In the chicken portion alone, you're not just getting poultry, but a whole science experiment. Modified cornstarch, wheat starch, natural flavors, whatever that means, dextrose, citric acid, and rosemary extract are all in the mix. That's just the meat. The breading brings another parade of synthetic surprises like hydrogenated soybean oil and TBHQ, a petroleum-based preservative so strong, it can keep your nuggets fresher than your fridge. TBHQ has been linked to vision problems, liver enlargement, and in high doses, precancerous stomach tumors in lab animals. All that for a $5 combo meal. And yes, we all remember the pink slime scandal, those viral photos of bubblegum-colored goo, supposedly the meat behind the nuggets. McDonald's went on a PR campaign insisting they no longer use pink slime. but no longer isn't never. According to multiple former employees, the reality inside those mixing vats is far from appetizing. Fat, skin, connective tissue, blood vessels, and even ground bone have allegedly made their way into the slurry. Think of it like a chicken's haunted past. Everything but the cluck. Now here's the part that'll really fry your nerves. McNuggets can be cooked not once, not twice, but up to 3 times before they're finally tossed. Nuggets that sit too long under warming lights aren't thrown out. They're sent back into the fryer for a quick touch-up. It's like giving CPR to something that died hours ago, and in high-volume locations, massive batches are fried ahead of time to keep up with demand. That means by the time you open your box, you might be eating reheated chicken that's been under lamps since the sun came up. Some employees jokingly say nuggets get dunked in oil more often than donuts at a county fair, but there's nothing funny about eating reheated, oil-soaked, chemical-packed poultry that was rejected by time itself. If fast food had a recycling program, McNuggets would be their poster child. So here's the golden truth behind the golden nugget. It's a Frankenstein food, stitched together from spare parts, deep-fried in denial, and preserved like an ancient artifact. If this is what we're casually feeding to our kids, our families, and ourselves, what does that say about what we've come to accept? Number 3, Fileto Fish. You'd think a sandwich with filet in the name would at least pretend to be fresh. But the Fileto Fish from McDonald's isn't just questionable. It's practically a case study in how to turn seafood into a sad joke. Former employees across the board have quietly agreed. This is one item you should avoid at all costs, unless you're feeling adventurous in a bad way or nostalgic for disappointment. Here's the first problem. No one really orders it. Outside of Lent or the occasional Friday habit, the Fileto Fish is like that forgotten cousin at a family reunion, and because demand is so low, most locations don't bother making it fresh. Instead, a small batch is pre-cooked and tossed into a warming tray, where it sits for hours, aging like a high school yearbook photo. According to a survey of 100 McDonald's workers, a staggering 87% admitted their stores rarely make the Fileto Fish to order. The official company policy says to discard it after 30 minutes. But employees report it's often kept 4 hours or more. That's not dinner. That's a fish funeral in slow motion. And it's not just time that's the enemy. The fish patty is supposed to be fried in its own dedicated oil, away from the chicken, fries, and whatever else is bubbling away in the deep fryer. But when things get hectic, and they always do, workers toss everything into the same oil. That means your Fileto Fish might come with a side of flavor borrowed from the McChicken or last hour's fries. One training manual even ranked this sandwich as low priority when it comes to oil changes. Translation: if the oil's been working overtime, your fish has been swimming in a dirty bath. And let's talk about that infamous half slice of cheese. That's not a mistake. McDonald's does it on purpose. The official story: something about flavor balance. The real reason: cost cutting. Former managers say this cheese budget tweak saves the company millions every year. So instead of giving your sandwich a full slice, they just offer it a part-time gig. And if the sandwich has been sitting too long, that half slice tends to melt into oblivion and then re-solidify into something that feels like chewing on a rubber band dipped in dairy. But don't worry, they've got a fix for that. Just drown it in tartar sauce. The official portion is 1 tablespoon, but employees admit they'll slap on 2 or 3 if the fish has been sitting around too long. Not because it needs flavor, but because it needs to hide what it has become. A gloopy, gooey cover-up to distract you from the gritty truth this sandwich is a leftover dressed in a paper wrapper. The Fileto Fish isn't just old. It's a symbol of everything wrong with fast food pretending to be fresh. It sits in a tray for hours, swims in reused oil, wears a single sad slice of cheese, and hides behind sauce like a crime suspect in sunglasses. If your idea of seafood involves mystery meat, reheating roulette, and a fish patty older than your lunch break, then sure, go for it. But next time you order fish from a chain that specializes in burgers, ask yourself this: would you eat sushi from a gas station? Because that's about the same gamble you're taking. Number 4, grilled chicken. Grilled used to mean something. You could picture it a hot flame, a real piece of meat, maybe a little char around the edges. But when you walk into McDonald's and order their grilled chicken, what you're really getting is a marketing fantasy soaked in preservatives and painted with fake grill marks. Let's start with the facts. McDonald's grilled chicken patties arrive at the restaurant frozen, already pre-shaped and pre-treated. Less than 70% of the patty is actual chicken meat. The rest, it's a chemical cocktail of modified cornstarch, wheat starch, salt, and something called natural flavoring, which sounds pleasant until you realize it's just a vague legal term that can include anything from processed oils to chemical-derived aroma compounds. It's like asking for orange juice and getting a citrus-scented air freshener, those picture-perfect grill lines. They don't come from any flame. They're printed on during processing using caramel coloring and artificial dyes. This isn't food that was kissed by fire, it's been stamped like a cheap t-shirt at a tourist stand. It's chicken in costume, pretending to be something it's not. And here's where it gets more concerning. A study published in 2022 analyzed grilled chicken from various fast food chains and found that McDonald's version had nearly 3 times the sodium of a grilled chicken breast made at home. One sandwich can contain up to 40% of your daily recommended sodium intake. That's a huge chunk for anyone. But for people managing blood pressure or heart conditions, it could be dangerous. But salt isn't the only problem. These patties are treated with a preservative-heavy chemical bath that includes sodium phosphates and modified food starch. This process isn't just about keeping the chicken safe, it's about making it look moist and taste passable, even after multiple reheats. Natural chicken dries out when you microwave it. McDonald's grilled chicken doesn't, and that's not a compliment. Lab tests have shown that the patties can remain spongy and fresh for up to 6 months if properly stored. It's like chicken that's been embalmed. Employees see and smell what customers don't. In an anonymous survey, 75% of McDonald's workers said they would not eat the grilled chicken served at their own restaurants. Why common complaints included a strange rubbery texture, an off-putting smell during cooking, and a chemical aftertaste. One worker described it as something that feels like meat but tastes like plastic, and the preparation process doesn't help. Instead of being grilled to order, the patties are often pre-cooked, stored in the fridge, and then quickly reheated on a press when someone orders one. That springy texture you notice, that's not juiciness, that's the result of industrial engineering. It's a bounce that says I've been sitting here for hours, but thanks to chemicals, I'll pretend I'm fresh. Let's be honest, grilled chicken should be the safer bet. It should be the answer when you want something lighter, cleaner, healthier. But at McDonald's, it's just another illusion. It might not be deep fried, but it's still soaked in shortcuts. It might wear the name grilled, but it's never truly met a flame. It might look clean, but it's packed with preservatives, salt, and flavor enhancements that would confuse even a chemist. In the end, McDonald's grilled chicken isn't just misleading, it's proof that even the healthy option can be a wolf in poultry's clothing. And the next time you order it thinking you're doing your body a favor, just remember you're not choosing better, you're just choosing differently. Number 5, sausage patties. Forget what you think you know about breakfast comfort. That warm, familiar sausage patty from McDonald's may seem like a harmless, satisfying start to your morning, but underneath its golden brown sizzle lies a tangled mess of chemical preservatives, reheating tricks, and enough fat to keep your arteries guessing until lunchtime. It may be the smallest thing on your breakfast plate, but it carries one of the biggest health red flags in the entire McDonald's menu. Let's start with the most overlooked fact: how long these patties actually sit before reaching your tray. During pre-dawn hours, workers typically cook large batches of sausage patties as part of the morning setup. But unlike eggs or hash browns, these little discs of mystery meat don't fly off the grill. Food safety testing has shown that the average McDonald's sausage patty waits in a warming tray for 97 minutes before being served. That's more than 4 times longer than McDonald's official holding limit of 20 minutes. It's not breakfast, it's brunch with a time machine. They sit around so long, they ought to be eligible for unemployment benefits. And what's actually in them? A whole lot more than pork. A single sausage patty contains a whopping 32 separate ingredients. Among them are BHA and BHT, synthetic preservatives banned in several countries due to potential links with cancer and endocrine disruption. These aren't flavorings, they're chemicals added to prolong shelf life and keep the meat looking fresh even after sitting for over an hour under heat lamps. But McDonald's doesn't stop there. To cover up the flavor loss that happens when sausage sits for so long, they've added MSG not once, but 4 times, under different chemical names. It's like a disguise party for additives. These tricks create the illusion of savoriness while masking the fact that the patty has aged more than a weekday coffee. Now let's talk about what happens when these patties start to dry out, because they do. One of the most concerning behind-the-scenes practices reported by employees is what they call the steaming trick. When a patty gets crusty or shriveled from too much time on the tray, workers are taught to drape it in a damp paper towel and microwave it for 15 seconds. That's right, your meat is being given a facial. It's the kind of spa treatment most working Americans can't afford, and it's being used to reanimate sausage from a nutrition standpoint. The sausage patty is a heavyweight. Just one patty contains 22 grams of fat, nearly a third of the recommended daily intake, and about 400 milligrams of sodium. That's before you've added cheese, eggs, biscuit, or McGriddle syrup. This tiny patty is hiding big numbers, and most people don't even realize it. And then there's the grease. The sausage patty's high fat content leaves the grill surface slippery and saturated, making it nearly impossible to clean thoroughly between batches during busy breakfast hours. Instead of sanitizing, workers usually just scrape off the excess with a metal spatula and keep cooking. That means your fresh patty is often being grilled in a puddle of recycled grease from dozens of patties before it, some of which were cooked hours ago. So next time you bite into a McDonald's sausage patty and think you're starting your day with something familiar, think again. You might be eating a relic from the early shift, reheated and rehydrated, dressed in artificial flavors, and sizzled in a sea of old fat. It's not breakfast, it's breakfast theater. And the longer you look behind the curtain, the harder it gets to swallow. Number 6, regular beef patties. After that greasy roller coaster of breakfast meats, let's flip the bun and stare down the cornerstone of McDonald's empire, the regular beef patty. It's the meat that built billions, though small. Thin discs tucked into hamburgers and cheeseburgers that get handed out like tokens of American comfort. But behind every bite lies a fast food secret that should make even the most loyal customer pause mid-chew. Here's the number that should make you sweat more than a summer grill. McDonald's sells around 6 million hamburgers per day worldwide. With that kind of volume, the system isn't designed for flavor or freshness. It's designed for speed, scale, and cost control, unlike the quarter pounder, which at most locations is cooked fresh to order. The standard beef patties are almost always cooked in bulk and reheated later. The reason: economics. These thin patties cook fast, but they cool just as fast. So during high-demand periods, workers fire up massive batches and stack them in warming trays like poker chips at a Vegas table. And here's the catch: studies by food safety experts show that the average regular patty waits in those trays for 45 minutes before being served, nearly 3 times the company's official hold time of 10 minutes. These burgers sit around so long, your food might have been done before you even entered the drive-thru line. But it gets worse. Employees describe what they call the double batch problem during busy hours. Managers often overestimate demand and tell workers to make double the number of patties needed. These fresh patties are then placed on top of the older ones, pushing the aging patties to the back of the tray where they can be forgotten. This stacking method means some patties sit far longer than they should, marinating not in flavor, but in time and neglect. And when those patties dry out or develop unappetizing dark edges, there's a revival method straight from a McDonald's training document: microwave them. Specifically, wrap the dried patty in a damp paper towel and microwave for 8 seconds. Burger CPR. No heartbeat, just heat. But even when fresh, not all beef patties are created equal. While McDonald's claims that all their beef is 100% real, the regular patties contain more binders and fillers than their premium quarter-pounder cousin. A 2020 analysis revealed something even more unsettling: the average regular patty is made from beef sourced from around 100 different cows per batch. Yes, 100. That kind of mixing raises the risk of contamination and makes traceability nearly impossible. One bad cow can taint the whole pot. Temperature control. That's another ticking time bomb. These patties are supposed to be held at a precise 140 degrees Fahrenheit to stay safe. But internal McDonald's audits found that 83% of locations had warming cabinets that dropped below this minimum at some point during the day. That means your reheated patty could be sitting at a temperature perfect, not for meat, but for bacteria. The regular beef patty may look simple, familiar, and comforting, but it's a factory product dressed up like fast food tradition, made in bulk, stacked in trays, reheated with microwaves, and assembled from a patchwork of cattle parts. What was once a symbol of consistency has become a case study in industrial shortcuts. So the next time you unwrap a cheeseburger and expect a taste of Americana, ask yourself, how old is this meat? How many cows is it made from? And how long has it been waiting for someone like you to show up? Number 7. McChicken Patties. If there's one thing scarier than mystery beef, it's chicken pretending to be something it's not. The McChicken and its fiery cousin. The spicy McChicken may look like budget-friendly, no fuss choices, but under that golden breading lies one of the most controversial meat products in the entire McDonald's menu. Former quality control staff and kitchen managers who've worked across multiple fast food chains agree these patties rank at the bottom of the chicken barrel. So what exactly are you eating? Lab analyses reveal that McChicken patties contain only about 45% actual chicken meat. The rest is made up of fillers, binders, soy protein, modified food starch, and flavor enhancers. It's a chicken-flavored patchwork quilt held together with industrial glue. Calling it chicken is like calling a hot dog steak, technically related, but spiritually misleading. A food scientist who tested chicken patties from 12 major fast food chains ranked McDonald's dead last for meat content. That means even bargain chains, the ones known more for their dollar menus than food quality, managed to pack more real chicken into their sandwiches than the Golden Arches. It's like getting outscored in basketball by your neighbor's grandma. But the game of deception doesn't stop there. The bread-to-meat ratio is another sleight of hand. A typical McChicken patty weighs just 2 ounces, while the bun clocks in at 3. This imbalance isn't a kitchen accident, it's corporate strategy. Internal documents reveal that in 2018, McDonald's increased the bun size to cut meat costs while keeping the sandwich looking full-sized. Bread is cheap, meat is expensive, so the more bun you bite, the more money they make. The bun has become the overbearing roommate that hogs the whole couch. Let's talk texture. McChicken patties go through mechanical tenderization, where meat is forced through tiny holes under high pressure, destroying muscle fibers and creating a smooth, paste-like consistency. It's chicken that's been so pulverized and reshaped, it no longer remembers its original form. If you blindfolded a farmer and had them touch one, they might think it's a kitchen sponge soaked in grease. And don't be fooled by the spicy version. It's not a different patty, it's the exact same one, just dusted with a powder coating after cooking. That spice mix often settles at the bottom of the storage bin, so the first few sandwiches come out decently spicy, while the rest tastes like disappointment. It's like buying a concert ticket and realizing the band's just lip-syncing the whole show. Then there's the holding time issue. McDonald's officially limits how long chicken patties can sit in a warming drawer to 30 minutes. But in practice, they've been known to linger up to 90 minutes, triple the limit. These patties get older than a teenager sneaking back in after curfew. As they dry out, employees drown them in mayonnaise, sometimes double or triple the normal amount to mask the rubbery texture. Nothing says gourmet like a sandwich held together by condiments. And what happens to patties that fail visual inspection? They're not tossed, they're repurposed. During breakfast prep, leftover or rejected patties, those with broken breading or uneven shape, get chopped up and hidden inside breakfast burritos. The chicken doesn't get thrown out. It just gets demoted faster than a new hire who shows up late twice in 1 week. A 2021 survey of 2,000 fast food workers ranked the McChicken patty as the item they would least likely eat themselves. Their reasons: low meat content, questionable processing, and poor handling practices. When the people making your food won't eat it, that's a red flag so big it should come with sirens. So here's the truth: the McChicken isn't a sandwich. It's a sandwich illusion. It's a cost-cutting compromise wrapped in a sesame seed bun. It's what happens when marketing outpaces quality and flavor takes a backseat to margin. If McNuggets are Frankenstein's chicken, the McChicken patty is his overlooked sidekick, quietly strange, highly processed, and barely recognizable. And just like every too-good-to-be-true profile on a dating app, what you see isn't always what you get. The photos might look appetizing, but the reality is just a patty waiting in a drawer, coated in mayo, and hoping you never ask too many questions. Behind every bite is a story most customers never hear, one of shortcuts, chemicals, and quiet compromises. If the food we trust hides this much, what else are we blindly accepting? You deserve more than reheated patties and processed illusions. So next time you're handed a tray, ask, is this really food? Or just factory performance? Subscribe to the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal and your health gets priority.